Number 1. Bruce Lee's first starring role in a movie. In 1950's The Kid, a preteen Bruce Lee played the role of Kid Chung, a streetwise orphan and ride troublemaker, based on a comic strip from the time. Starring opposite Lee, playing a kindly factory owner, was his father, Lee Hoi-chuen, who also happened to be a famous opera singer. Bruce Lee was actually born in San Francisco while his father was there on tour. Lee would move back to the U.S. in 1959. According to Lee biographer Matthew Polly, the movie was a big enough success in China to earn sequel consideration. There was just one problem. A young Bruce Lee was getting into fights at school and out on the streets, so his father forbid him from acting again until he straightened up, which of course didn't wind up happening. Number 2. Bruce Lee was deemed physically unfit for the U.S. Army. While he may have walked around with body fat in the single digits and could do push-ups using only 2 fingers, Lee still managed to fail a military physical for the U.S. Draft Board back in 1963. Despite being an adherent to physical fitness all his adult life, it was an undescended testicle that kept him from fighting for Uncle Sam in Vietnam. Number 3. Bruce Lee was an exquisite Cha dancer. Long before he was known for breakneck fight choreography, Bruce Lee's physical skills were focused on the dance floor, more specifically, the Cha. In Polly's book, Bruce Lee, A Life, the author explains that the dance trend made its way from Cuba through the Philippines and soon landed in China, and once the Cha settled into the Hong Kong social scene, it didn't take long for youth dance competitions to spring up. Lee had been taking part in Cha dancing since the age of 14, and in 1958, he won the Crown Colony Cha Championship. Foreshadowing his later dedication to martial arts, Lee would keep crib notes of all 108 different Cha steps in his wallet so that he could obsessively memorize them. Number 4. Bruce Lee refused to lose a fight to Robin. The Green Hornet aired its first episode in September 1966, with Bruce Lee as the Hornet's Van Williams' lightning-quick sidekick, Kato. The series would immediately be compared to Batman, ABC's other costumed crime-fighting show, and it wouldn't be long before a 2-part crossover episode was in the works. And as heroes do, before they teamed up, they first had to fight each other. According to Newsweek, since Batman was by far the more popular show, the script featured a fight between Burt Ward's Robin and Bruce Lee's Kato that was set to end with the boy Wonder getting the upper hand. But who would really buy that? Well, Lee certainly didn't, and he knew no one else would either. Williams later recalled that Lee read the script and simply said, "I'm not going to do that," and walked off. Common sense soon prevailed, sort of. The script was rewritten to change the ending, not to a Kato Ko, but to a more diplomatic draw. Though The Green Hornet was Lee's first big break in the United States, the series itself lasted only 26 episodes. Number 5. Bruce Lee trained numerous Hollywood stars. As Bruce Lee worked to become a big-screen heavyweight, he made a living as a martial arts trainer to the stars. Among Lee's students were Steve McQueen, James Coburn, James Garner, Roman Polanski, and Sharon Tate. For his services, Lee was known to charge about $275 per hour or $1,000 for 10 courses. McQueen and Coburn grew so enamored with Lee over the years that they remained close friends until his death in 1973, with both men serving as pallbearers at Lee's funeral, alongside Chuck Norris. Number 6. Roman Polanski may have, briefly, believed that Bruce Lee murdered Sharon Tate. In addition to providing Roman Polanski and his wife Sharon Tate with kung fu lessons, Bruce Lee also lived near the couple in Los Angeles when Tate and 4 others, including Lee's close friend Jay Sebring, were murdered by the Manson family in August 1969. It would be months before the Manson family was arrested for the murders, but in the meantime, according to an article from Esquire, Polanski had grown obsessed with finding a suspect, looking for potential perpetrators even amongst his own inner circle. During one kung fu lesson in the months after the murders, Lee had mentioned to Polanski how he had recently lost his glasses, which immediately piqued the director's interest. A mysterious pair of horn-rimmed glasses had been found at the murder scene near his wife's body after all. Polanski had even purchased a gauge to measure the lenses and find out the exact prescription so that he could do his own detective work, according to the New York Post. The director, without giving himself away, offered to bring Lee to his optician to get a new pair. This would allow him to hear Lee's prescription firsthand and determine if the specs discovered at the crime scene belonged to him. It turned out Lee's prescription didn't match, and Polanski never told his friend about his suspicions. Number 7. Bruce Lee had his sweat glands removed. Bruce Lee brought an impeccable physique to the screen that was decades ahead of its time, but because his roles required so much physicality, he would be drenched with sweat while filming. And apparently, the martial arts pioneer loathed the sweat stains that would show up on his clothing as a result. His solution: in 1973, Lee actually underwent a procedure to surgically remove the sweat glands from his armpits to avoid the fashion faux pas from showing up on camera. If you found this video informative and thought-provoking, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.